Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Fran, I'm from Venezuela, and today we're going to be watching a video called British Inventions That Changed the World. So, I have no idea what sort of inventions we're going to be looking at, but I'm guessing there's plenty of them because I know that, the Industrial Revolution was a thing, and a lot of things that we use now, like they're commonplace these days, probably came from there, and a lot of British, probably like scientists and inventors really did like shaped the way we live like these days. So let's check it out and comment, like, subscribe, and start.
Brits don't like to blow their own trumpet, and they really should sometimes. So yeah, he literally was a scientist and he just wanted to be able to take tea on a picnic. Is that the weirdest analogy I've ever given? Probably. Which is the most British thing I've ever heard, and I love it. Back to the Future has some thanks to give, I think, to Christopher. Next one I think is interesting because of the reputation Brits have for having bad teeth. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, I am Yvette. I moved to the UK in May last year and I've been here almost a year, and I'm documenting my experiences. I literally hit record and they literally turned that on. You cannot be joking. Well, we're back in just a few minutes. Some technical difficulties. We're back, sorry. I also have a wild dog that likes to come in and out of my videos.
What a beautiful dog.
I'm eating you too somehow. So for this video, I wanted to make a video talking about the top British inventions that no one really realizes are British. I feel like America takes a lot of the glory in terms of inventions, and people don't realize how much Brits did, considering how impactful they were on the world, particularly in the Industrial Revolution and all that jazz.
Yeah, the Industrial Revolution.
So I thought I'd make a video highlighting some of Britain's greatest achievements, and we'll go from there. So these are just some of the ones that I had no idea about. So you might already know these, they might be common knowledge, but coming from a foreigner, these were not common knowledge.
Probably.
Number one, I think is absolutely no surprise to anyone who's been to England, but the thermo flask. So the flask that you put your tea in. Shocking. They love tea so much they found a way to travel with it. And so that's a British invention, which makes sense.
Oh yeah, like
it was invented in 1892 by James someone. I'm not going to be like a history lesson. All you need to know is it was a flask.
Probably newer.
So yeah, he literally was a scientist and he just wanted to be able to take tea on picnics, which is the most British thing I've ever heard, and I love it. The next invention is the lawnmower, which everyone has.
Oh.
Lawnmower was invented in 1827, and it was
I'm surprised that's old, because I would think that's a newer
football
thing.
And cricket pitches, which is surprising to no one. But then obviously
what did people do before that?
Which makes sense, because it's very British to think of a British garden with a very curated like hedge and like beautiful like flowers. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now this one, if I've got any Americans watching, will be a point of contention, I am sure. But I have my stats to back me up. The light bulb was invented by No, it wasn't invented by Thomas Edison. What? It was invented by Joseph Swan in 1880. He beat...
Wow, I didn't know that.
He started manufacturing them in 1880. He had a patent, and at the time the only real competition was gas lights, and these were much better for the people because there was no residue, no smoke, etc.
Of course.
Smell, and they
light bulbs
and they lasted 12 hours.
Anytime you look at it, it's going to be better.
But yeah, little known fact, not Thomas Edison. That's a good one for like trivia,
weird.
You know, your pub trivia.
I would have guessed it was Thomas Edison.
And it's a trick question because really it's Joseph Swan. The next one, my personal favorite, is the chocolate bar. It was created in 1847 by Fry and Sons. Before this point, it was only consumed as like a drink, and then they created a mixture where they mixed it with sugar and made it more of a solid that would then melt in your mouth, and that was the chocolate bar.
What did people do before chocolate?
So it was also created in Bristol, so my Bristolians claim to fame, chocolate, get royalties. Something we've all had at some time in our life is soda water, which was invented by the Brits, specifically Joseph Priestley in 1742.
That's very old. I'm surprised by how
he created the way to make soda water. However, Mr. Schweppes, whoever of Schweppes, I think we all know.
Of course, because
ended up using that method to make soft drink, carbonated soft drink, and it was a bowl above some beer, and then that makes soda water. There you go.
Like
1876 by Graham Bell. He invented the telephone, which the traditional telephone, rather than, you know, our traditional mobile phones have today. I don't know what he would think about that.
It's a precursor, of course. We didn't
Another
have
huge
cell
one.
phones
So I'm
back
covering
then.
off like all of the massive inventions I would say that have like transformed the 21st century. Is that like phones? We've got phones, light bulbs. We also have the television, which revolutionary, and I didn't know that. I honestly would have thought America invented the TV, but
Yeah,
here we
because
are.
it's sort of like American.
The TV was invented by John Bard, and it was in 1925. So somehow older, but also not as old as I thought, which is
I
weird.
would think it was like, yeah, I
So
think it was going to be
there's
like
a bit
in
of contention over who
40s or
actually
something
invented
like
the TV. However, Jonathan Bard did actually project an image using television type materials first. However,
Of course,
he
because
didn't
of, like, the
patent it or
frequencies or
protect it
something
in any
like
way,
that.
so he couldn't really reap the rewards of his invention. So that's why there's so many different people who took that technology and then
That's kinda
tweaked it
sad,
and made
actually.
their own, and then there you go, sold off.
Yeah.
Next one I think is interesting because of the reputation Brits have for having bad teeth. But did you know that Brits invented the toothbrush? Before he invented the toothbrush, people were getting
Right,
salt
wooden
and
sticks.
soot and putting it on a rag
Oh.
and then brushing
Oh,
their
a
teeth
rag.
like that. And he was like, I think I got a better way. And so in 1770, he invented a toothbrush, and I cannot thank
I
him
didn't know they
more
were
for
that
it.
old.
I mean, there's so many inventions for the UK have invented, so like hip replacements, sewerage systems, all of like
Hip replacements.
standard day-to-day stuff, but I'm here for the interesting ones, like the ones that you wouldn't think of. So for example, the UK invented hovercrafts. It was by Christopher Cockwell, and he was in 1953, and he just wanted to make his boat go faster, and then he ended up making it hover along the water. So Back to the Future
Okay,
has
so
some,
it was a happy
some
accident.
thanks to give, I think, to Christopher. Chris. The UK also invented ATMs, something we all use almost every day.
Not anymore. I
It was
think a lot of
invented in
people don't use cash these
1967
days.
by Joseph Sharon Barron. Is that it? Shepherd Barron. And he invented ATMs because it was a machine installed outside of Barclays in 1967. However, because we didn't have credit
I didn't
cards
know
yet,
they were
you would
that,
get a
like,
special
that's
check,
so
and you could
new.
insert it and put a pin in, and then it would give you £10 back. And then obviously it's taken off from there. But I often
I
think,
did not know. I would think that's
before
like
then-
an older thing.
because I think they actually, before they came widespread, they didn't come widespread, I think, in Australia until like maybe the 80s,
What?
maybe even later. Because my parents would often mention how when they were young, they would have to go to the bank.
You had to go
during
to the bank,
week
yeah,
and get
like
their money out
with
for
your
the-
cash.
for the weekend, and the banks were closed on weekend. So if you didn't have enough money for the weekend, too bad.
You were-
And I was
yeah, you were, like,
as someone who
done.
lives in the 21st century, like, I've got 7 different ways I can pay for something, whether it's Apple Pay, credit cards, cash,
Whatever,
different
yeah.
credit
No
cards.
one uses cash these days. You have, like,
there's always
cards
some way
or
to
other, like,
buy
electronic
something now.
methods.
So the idea that you could have just literally been stuck with no cash is wild. Would have made saving a lot easier because you just can't access your money. So it's like
That's
when
true.
you're eating
Actually, maybe
healthy
it's
and
better
buy
that way.
healthy food at the store, and then you get home and then you want to crave snacks, but there aren't any and you can't get any. That's how I feel with the money situation. Is that the weirdest analogy I've ever given? Probably.
It's weird, but it works.
I've saved the best to last, and I think it's the most impactful thing that's ever happened to the history of mankind, and it's a British invention, so you
What
guys
is
can claim
it?
it all your own. It is the World Wide Web. It was invented by Tim
Oh.
Berners-Lee, and it was almost called Tim, like the internet was almost called Tim. It's like the World Wide Tim or something.
That would be strange.
So he, in 1991, the year I was born, good year, connected a bunch of computers together and created a server, and then created the first ever web page which explained how to set up a website and how to use it to search things. So without
That's
that,
crazy.
the entire world would be different. And he gave away that invention for free. I don't think he's gotten any reward from it. He didn't pay
It's
anyone
crazy
to
to think
use
of
it.
a world
It was
without
free
internet.
domain.
That's crazy.
Which is amazing. That would never happen now. Without
true.
him, you wouldn't be watching this video. You wouldn't know who
That's
I am.
also true.
It's wild how much that's changed.
We can't even imagine.
So
like,
those were just some of my
without it.
favorite British inventions that I had no idea about. Some of them make complete sense, like the thermoflask and that, but
Yeah, it's
things
true.
like the internet, I think people don't give enough credit to the UK for inventing. Because let's be honest, Brits don't like to blow their own trumpet, and they really should sometimes. You guys do have a lot to offer. You should be bragging more.
They should be
America's
proud,
getting more
yes.
brags in. But that's it for this video. I thought I'd just do a quick little fun one. Just something random. I fell down the internet again, down a random click hole. So here we are.
No, but it was very
Anyways.
interesting.
So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and remember to hit subscribe so I can see you next time. Please let me know in the comments if any of this was a surprise to you, because a lot of things surprised me. Thomas Edison did the light bulb.
Yeah, so Thomas Edison.
I think it's been contested. I think he stole a lot of stuff. You guys can
he stole
correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think he was like,
I don't know,
infamously collectively stole a lot of people's inventions. But like, get that hustle.
That's
at least get
a little crazy.
Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Bye.
I don't know. Yeah, there were a lot of things that surprised me. But more not just because they're British, but because of the year they were invented. I would think that a lot of things were newer and a lot of things that were actually like older. I thought, I don't know, like the toothbrush was probably, I don't know, I think it was probably like a newer thing. I thought people used like sticks or something like that. And the phone one was also blew my mind. And but the internet as well. I mean, it's so like commonplace to say that it's really like, I don't know, weird to think that it's been around for like, I don't know, 30 years, around 30 years, because you would think like it's something older. And same as TV. I thought it was newer. I had no idea it was invented in like the 1920s. But it's true that it's something like more commonplace as time went on. But this was super interesting and I hope you enjoyed it as well. And I'll see you next time. Bye.